Welcome back to Rewind Rewatch. I'm Andrene.
And I'm Joel.
And this is a podcast where we watch 90s films and discuss how well they have aged. In case you missed it, we are siblings. And during the episode, we will talk about any themes that jump out, plot points, who's in the film, any 90s references that we notice. And then I'll also provide some facts that I found. At the end of each episode, we will give the movie a rewind rating between 1 and 5, basically trying to determine how likely it is we would rewatch the film again. All of the movies that we cover on this podcast have been requested by you listeners. So keep those requests coming. The list is extremely long.
Yes, it is.
But we are slowly working our way through that list.
I mean, a long list is better than a short list.
Absolutely.
Because it gives us like a lot of different options to choose from. And I would say there's like a fair amount of movies on the list that I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. Obviously, like when you're rewatching a movie that you've already seen, you're kind of like watching it with new eyes. But if it's a new movie that either of us or either neither of us have seen before, then it kind of adds a different perspective as well. So
Yeah, absolutely.
this is a movie that we've both seen before.
Oh, yes. Quite a few times.
Yeah.
This is Se7en from 1995 with an R rating with a 2-hour and 10-minute runtime. A little on the long side here. This was requested by a single listener,
Okay.
Jenny.
Shout out to Jenny. So how was the experience for you watching a 2-hour movie this time?
You know, it's not a fun movie, but
I would not describe this movie as fun. I don't know if anyone's described this movie as fun.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
So
well, that's why I asked.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're sitting there waiting to see where the plot is going, or there's a lot of backstory. It's like they pretty much jump into it right away. And, yeah, and you're trying to figure out, like who a killer is, and like who's the next victim is going to be, and like what's their motivation. Like all of that is just entertaining. So no problems here with the time.
All right, that's all I wanted to hear. Because I felt like it was a 2 hours that kind of went by fast because I was engaged in what was going on. And having seen this movie before, anyone who's seen this movie before obviously remembers how it ends. So I definitely remember that, and I remember the concept of the film, but the specific details, all the different ways that people died, the interplay between Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, like there was a lot of things that I didn't remember. So it was fun watching this again.
All right, so quick shout out to the director, David Fincher. He has directed quite a few films that were big hits. He did Fight Club, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He also did a few episodes of Mindhunter, which is probably one of my favorite dramas I've ever seen.
So this guy likes his movies dark.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, like, my God.
Yeah, that's like a one and done movie for me.
Yeah,
like,
that movie is too
that
dark.
one scene I'll just say that one scene, if you've seen it, it's very intense and hard to watch.
Even Fight Club's pretty dark.
Yeah. But on the flip side, what I found was interesting is he also did a number of music videos. So he did Billy Idol, Madonna, Paula Abdul, Aerosmith, and Rick Springfield.
All right.
So shout out to him.
All right, Finchy.
All right, so I guess 4 big names in this film. You already mentioned Morgan Freeman, who plays Lieutenant Somerset, and then you also have Brad Pitt, who plays Detective Mills. We also have Kevin Spacey, who plays John Doe.
He does play John Doe.
He is from The Usual Suspects, LA Confidential, American Beauty, House of Cards. So I feel like I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that when you think of Kevin Spacey, you think about these allegations of sexual misconduct that came out. However, based on what I have seen as of the time of this recording, he has been cleared of all sexual abuse and assault charges. So he has not been convicted of anything. So.
Yo, that's crazy because I didn't even hear about that.
Are you serious?
I heard about the charges. I didn't hear that he was found not guilty.
Yeah.
So that's, that kind of goes to how court of public opinion. It's like,
yeah.
I just remember some story came out about him like messing with like somebody who was underage, or it was something.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I did it, but don't blame me. I'm gay." It's like, well, that's not really the point here.
Yeah, it was really
the point wasn't that you're gay. Bro.
Yikes.
The point was that they were underage. Right? You missed it. You didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
I feel like ever since that happened, like you don't really see him anymore. Like people don't really cast him in things as much.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then Gwyneth Paltrow plays Tracy, who is Detective Mill's wife.
Correct.
So one of the things, and I'll do the one sentence summary in a second. All right, let me do it now, I guess. Right. So Se7en is called Se7 for a reason. So this movie is basically a serial killer decides to kill different victims based on the 7 deadly sins.
Right. From Paradise Lost, right? Milton's Paradise Lost is kind of where it
I
came
actually
from.
don't know where it's from, but
that's where I believe.
I just know like the 7 deadly sins, like they're deadly. Like these are the sins.
They're deadly.
Yeah, these are the sins. They're deadly. So you've got gluttony, greed, sloth, lust, pride, wrath, and envy.
I have a question for you about these deadly sins. But I feel like you had something you wanted to say before I asked the question.
Yeah. So, let's get back to deadly sins in a second. So, what I was going to ask is, do you have a sense of where this movie takes place? Because they refer a lot to the setting, but I don't know that anybody ever says where it is.
I don't remember them saying. I mean, it's clearly like in the city. I think it's in New York City because I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow's character was talking to Lieutenant Somerset, and she mentions like how she used to like work upstate or at like a fifth grader teacher or something.
Yeah.
And like I don't know why, but for me, every time I think of like upstate, I feel like New Yorkers talk like that.
No, that's
you know what I mean. Like
you basically took the talking points right out of my mouth because I was like, they never say they're in New York, but I don't know anybody else that refers to upstate.
Oh, there you go.
So I just assumed it was New York, but like
same. So there you have it.
So the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, this is a very dark film, and the way that these crime scenes right after the murders have happened are very intense and also very bizarre at the same time. Was there a deadly sin, apart from the ending, which you all know is crazy shocking, but I guess between gluttony, greed, sloth, lust, and pride, was there a deadly sin whose, I guess, scene shocked you or grossed you out the most?
Grossed me out the most?
Yeah.
Lust.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what's funny? I did not remember that at all.
No, me neither. I probably didn't remember it at all on purpose. My brain probably just hit delete on that file.
Yeah. There's a lot that happens there. I don't even want to repeat it on the pod because it's really it's
not fun to discuss.
It's really gross. So we're not going to talk about that. If you haven't seen it, Google it, watch it, whatever. But yeah, that poor sex worker, that was rough.
But, I mean, well, now we kind of have to talk about it because I feel like, so with all of these, basically, this John Doe killer has found these different people in New York City, I guess. It's unclear exactly how he found them. But he's basically like, oh, this person is a glutton. I'm going to kill them using their gluttony. Oh, this person is greedy. I'm going to kill them using their greed. So, basically, he has a John in one of those like sex worker places that used to exist in New York City
before Mayor Giuliani cleaned up the streets.
Yeah, but this movie also takes place in the 90s, so I don't really know. But it's it's one of those places where you could go and kind of like do the peep shows, and then people can also, I guess, pay extra money to sleep with the girls. And he basically gets one of the Johns in the establishment. He like forces him to kill one of the sex workers by holding a gun to his head. And I felt like this one was the most devious because he kind of like killed 2 people. Like, again, I don't want to get into the details on this, but the way he forced the guy to kill the sex worker is like so jarring and so traumatic that like that guy's done.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
His brain is gonna be snapped because it's like I guess the plan was to kill the prostitute, but it's like you kind of ruined this other guy's life too. So this was the worst one for me.
Yeah, that was definitely the most disgusting because like how do you do that to a person? But the one that I remember the most is gluttony.
Well, it's also the first one.
Like you have this morbidly obese man who apparently only eats canned spaghetti.
That was not clear to me. I thought maybe that was what was left in his apartment because John Doe brought all the food.
Kept feeding him.
He was force feeding him.
For 12 hours. Think about this. For 12 hours, you're forced to eat spaghetti. And it was so bad. He had a bucket under the table that was full of vomit because obviously you're going to vomit if you're eating that much. And I don't know, like that scene, like you could almost smell how bad it reeked in that apartment when they came in. It was
speaking of reeking, I mean Sloth.
Oh.
Filled the apartment with car air fresheners to hide the scent of his rotting, decaying body.
He had this man on a bed for a year. At that point, his brain was turned to mush. He was still alive. Remember, he was still breathing. And it's like, why even keep this man alive? I felt like just, why are we plugging him up? Euthanasia. I'm sorry. It just seems like...
Are you talking about the
sloth victim? Is like...
But you're talking about the EMTs.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, they're not just going to be like, let's kill this guy.
I know they can't, but it's
like kind of their job to keep him alive.
No, I get it, but I'm also just like, he's literally not there anymore. Like, his brain is gone, they said. He chewed off his own tongue, and the machines are just keeping him alive, but, like, he has no real life. Like...
No, he does not.
So,
yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was murdered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he murders a number of people. 7, exactly.
Yeah.
7 people, exactly.
Just quickly, so Greed was the guy. He was an attorney. And, I mean, they're just, like, feeding into this idea that, attorneys want our money and we're unethical and blah, blah, blah.
I didn't get that. I mean, maybe that's how it felt for you because you're an attorney, but he said that he targeted this attorney because he was, like, a defense lawyer that basically was getting criminals off he was basically getting criminals off.
I mean, that's what attorneys do. If that's your client, like you don't like, you know what I'm saying, like
right. But he's basically saying like, yo, you have no morals because you're like helping these guilty people. Because the guy that he killed for Sloth, the guy he strapped to the bed, was both a drug dealer and a child molester. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
But I also don't know why Sloth.
I don't know how that's tied to Sloth.
Yeah, I didn't
guess
quite get that
he's
one.
lazy because he sleeps with kids. I don't really know. Which is very ironic that Kevin Spacey's in this film.
Oh.
But so I guess the Greed lawyer was the one who basically got the child molester freed and got him found not guilty. And he's like some big shot with a big downtown apartment office. Mm-hmm. And so, like, this guy is, like, well known in the city as, like, like, if you're trash, like, get this guy. So I think that's why he was selected versus just, like, he's a lawyer. I don't think that's what it was.
All right. I did like the whole tie to the Merchant of Venice from Shakespeare. Basically, in that play, one of the main parts of it is that someone owed like a pound of flesh, and it's like nothing more, nothing less. So they had to provide a pound of flesh without providing blood, which is like, how can you possibly do that? Long story short, he has this attorney.
Go to the butcher shop.
Has this attorney basically tied like feet and hands, but his right hand was untied, and he had a knife in the right hand. And it's like, you have to cut 1 pound of flesh. And the attorney is basically cutting, I think, from his love handle, they said.
Yeah, he tried. He tried.
But, of course, he bled out.
I mean, at a certain point, it's just like, you just don't have to shoot me. Because what am I doing?
But I also feel like he's the kind of person who's going to, like, torment you. It's not going to be a quick shot to the head. Like, he's going to make it so that you're going to do it. Whether he breaks your fingers or, like, he's going to
that's true.
Make it impossible for you to just give up. He's not going to shoot you in the head. That's not his style.
No, that's true. So let me go back to this because I wanted to ask you about the whole defense attorney thing. It's like, if you are Yeah, like if you're like defending people who have done heinous crimes, I mean, yes, that is doing your job, but like
Someone has to
you're
do
also
it.
kind of a dirtbag.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, someone has to do a lot of
What if you're
things.
okay? What if he was court appointed? Would that make a difference? You think? If the court said this is your
Yeah,
client?
he wouldn't be a big shot if he was court appointed.
Oh.
I mean, listen, there are definitely people who like target like human rights. They're like activists. Oh, this person was, blamed for a crime I feel that they didn't commit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a sense that this is the same type of lawyer.
He's probably like an ambulance chaser or
like the guy
just
that's like getting off drug dealers.
And he tells them like,
is
tell all
usually-
your friends. Tell your friends to
It's
come see
usually
me.
like a guy who knows his clients are guilty, but it's like, hey, they need representation. But it's like, yeah, you're kind of a dirtbag.
And they
bro.
pay in cash.
They're definitely paying in cash because they don't have bank accounts.
Okay, fair enough. And then the last one we didn't discuss was Pride. And this was a woman who, was she like an actress or something?
She was a model.
model?
And I'm assuming she's a model because she had like a photo of herself
Above the bed.
above her own bed, which is
Yeah.
like, okay.
That's a lot.
Pretty vanity, pretty vain.
Yeah, yeah. So for that one, the killer attached like sleeping pills to her hands and like basically started like, I think he cut off her nose.
Nah, so he glued her hands, he glued one hand to a bottle of pills and glued one hand to a phone.
Right.
And he like dismembered her. He sliced her face and was basically like, you can either use the phone and call someone to save you, but you'll be disfigured, or you can use the pills and kill yourself.
And because she was proud, what did she do?
She did the pills.
Yeah.
She made her choice. And he knew she would make that choice.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point, because it's like, yo, I'm trying to make sure that all these people die. So I don't think he would have even selected her. It's unclear. I mean, there's a little bit of serendipity at the end, I guess. Not serendipity is probably not the right word, but like everything kind of comes together a little cleanly. There's no indication in the movie of like, how did he know these people? How did he select these people? I mean, okay, greed and sloth, fair enough. You could probably have seen like an article in the newspaper. Or
Pride.
Lust. You just go and just like
Find anyone who's a sex worker.
Find some sex worker. But like, he just chose this fat man because he was fat.
That seems wrong. Yeah.
And the pride also is like, he just knew because she was a model she would kill herself. Or did he know her personally? Like, it's really just like, yo, I'm trying to get this bar off. And so let me get these bars off at the end of the movie.
You know what's funny? Like, watching this film, although it's not exactly the same, it was kind of giving me vibes from the first Saw. Just the idea of Saw in general, how like in Saw.
Oh yeah,
he saw
Saw definitely took vibes from.
It's like,
Se7en.
oh, you like to use drugs? Here, I'm going to throw you into a pit of needles, and and it's like try and dig your way out before the clock runs out or something. So that I like that type of film. It's like it is jarring. It's made to give you shock and awe and all that, but it's also entertaining to watch because you're kind of like, wait, so what deadly sin is he going to do next, and how is he going to do it?
So, I want to talk a little bit about our three main characters. Brad Pitt plays Detective Mills. Morgan Freeman plays Detective Somerset. And the way that they set this dynamic up is these two guys are legitimately polar opposites. In every way you can imagine. Brad Pitt's Mills is young, Somerset's old. Mills is white, Somerset's is black. Mills transferred there because it's unclear exactly why. He wanted more action, I guess. He wasn't getting enough action upstate. Somerset is literally on his last week before he retires.
7 days.
So you got like the rookie and the vet. Mills is a hothead. He's very rash and impatient and loud. Somerset is thoughtful and planful. He's exact. He's kind of quiet. He doesn't speak before he feels like he has something to say. So it's like the whole time we're watching these two cops who are being forced to work together, and they are very, very different from each other.
Right.
What was your like, I guess your perception of their dynamic and just these characters in general. Like, did you find yourself being drawn more to one than the other? Or
yes, absolutely. I was definitely Team Somerset because, like you mentioned, like the very first time we see him getting ready to go visit a crime scene, and he is very meticulous, and just the way he's getting dressed, everything is laid out, everything has its place. When they get to the first crime scene, he is very carefully assessing the damage, trying to figure out what's going on. Whereas it seems as though Mills likes to just kind of reach a conclusion. He's very cocky. Like, give me the case, I'll take it. It's like, bro, this is like your first day working in the city. And he keeps saying like, yeah, I have 5 years in homicide. It's like, yeah, but not in this city.
right.
Like, it's different down here than where you were working upstate. It's not the same thing. And he's also a hothead. I think that's the part that really pissed me off about him. It's like he's, arguing with other cops about things, arguing with the photographer. The worst thing he does is when he kicks down John Doe's door without having probable cause or a warrant.
Oh my goodness.
Like, that pissed me off so much. Like, after Somerset laid it out for him and was like, if you do this, like, we really have no reason to even be at his apartment. So if we do this and kick the door down.
Right, because they got the information through a back channel.
Correct.
So it's like, we're actually not even supposed to be here.
Right.
If we leave a hole like this, we won't be able to prosecute. The fucking guy will walk. Now, is that what you want?
By the time we go to the warrant, someone else. Nah, fuck that.
We need a reason to knock on this door. Think about it. Okay?
Okay, you're right. All fucked up. You're right.
And now you're just kicking down the door and raising hell and like, oh, well, the door's open now. I'm like, get this guy out of here. He was annoying me.
And then pays some neighbor off to
she was a junkie.
Create a fake witness account.
Yeah.
So that he would have probable cause.
And it pisses me off. Like, yes, we know.
And it's like, bro, the other cops couldn't tell that you. I mean, whatever.
They didn't care.
New York police.
Yeah, they didn't care. It was just kind of like, oh, there's a witness, good. And then like after she walks away, he like gives her money, like, oh yeah, get something to eat or something. And it's like, bro, like this is so obvious that this is not real. But they got their statement, so whatever.
It's also not real.
No, but it's that's what makes it more.
We know how police.
That's what makes it more annoying because it's like, regardless of what he did, like, bro, people still have rights. And what if you were wrong? What if this was the wrong guy? It just rubs me the wrong way.
Nah, it's not good police work. Somerset. It's funny because I've been flirting with the idea of like rewatching The Wire, and I finally started rewatching it. And Morgan Freeman's character Somerset reminds me of Lester Freeman from The Wire. Like he's just kind of like very unassuming. All the cops kind of think that he doesn't know what he's doing. But just because he's quiet doesn't mean like he doesn't know. Like he'll just like go and do like really good police work quietly and then just like show up with evidence and be like, yo, this is what I found.
Right.
Until they're like, oh, and he gets everybody's respect. I feel like they would be like friends. Like in like an alternate reality, like Lester Freeman and Detective Somerset would be like the greatest of partners because they would just both just like go about their business and be very. Like I said, he's very exact with the way that he operates, and he's very thoughtful, and he doesn't react to things. It's like, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about before I do anything.
Yes, he's very measured.
And they're both like, 50-year-old black men, so they also kind of just like give the same vibe. It's very funny.
What did you think about the fact that Mill's wife reaches out to Somerset to let him know about her pregnancy?
Yeah. That's not what I thought you were going to ask me. Well, first let me answer what I thought you were going to ask me.
The dinner, inviting him to dinner?
Which is like, why did she call him in the first place? Right. So she calls him and invites him to dinner because like they're not getting along. Because of all the reasons we just talked about. He comes over to dinner. They have a laugh, and then they start kind of working together better after that. And I guess the question that I thought you were going to ask is like, why did she reach out to him in the first place? Mm-hmm. I think it was kind of two things. Like, one is that I kind of want to know who this person is that my husband's spending all day with.
Right.
So that I can at least be put at ease. Like, he's out here, like, chasing serial killers around New York City. At least if I know who he's with, I'll feel a little bit better about him coming home at, 1 a.m. every morning. And I think another part of it was also to try to, like, smooth the edges a little bit. Because he was very tense. Like I said, like, Mills is, like, just very rash and impatient. So, but when she tells him that she's pregnant and she's like, yo, I haven't even told my husband yet, and I actually hate it here, and I actually kind of wish we could go back home, and I actually, like, don't know how he's going to react, and I feel like I have nobody else to talk to.
Yeah.
So, on the one hand, it's like, this is mad sad. On the other hand, it's like, whoa, what is this man supposed to do with this information? And I don't know if she's just telling him because she feels like he's just, like, a wise old black man who's gonna, like, the old black person in every movie who's, like, supposed to just, like, give great advice, be the token of wisdom for these poor white people. So maybe that's what it was. I also feel like if I'm Somerset, like, I'm not meeting with my partner's wife behind his back.
Yeah.
Unless she provides me with a very good reason in advance of, like, yo, this is why I need to meet you. But just like, oh, hey, can you meet me at this diner and don't tell your partner who is my husband? I'm like, I'm absolutely not coming. This is setting me up for something I do not want to be a part of.
And we know Mills is a hothead. So that could have gone very left.
Yes. Yo, why are you talking to my wife? Why are you meeting up with her in the middle of the day? Like, nah, dog, we're not doing any of that. But he does show up, and he basically is like, yo, I don't know why I'm here. Like, yeah, I don't know. What was your take on her saying that, telling him that she was pregnant, but not telling her husband?
I mean, I think it was odd that she said she had no one to talk to. Like, I get it's a new city, but it's like, you didn't have any friends upstate you could call on the phone? Like, this is the 90s. Y'all have a phone. Like, I didn't understand. Like,
the 90s.
She's like, I have no one to talk to. I was like, you don't have not one girlfriend you could call and be like, hey, I got pregnant.
She ain't got no mama. She ain't got no friends.
Cousin.
She ain't got no siblings.
Auntie. She has nothing.
She got Detective Somerset.
So that was weird.
The man that she met a week ago.
Yeah, that was very strange to me, and I didn't quite understand it. But like you said, I think she sees him as someone who is safe, someone who can keep the secret. Like you said, he's old, he's wise. Maybe he'll have some words to impart to her.
Old, wise, and black.
And I mean, to be fair, he does tell her about the fact that he had a partner in the past who got pregnant, and he convinced her to have an abortion. But then he said it was the right decision, but that he regretted it, which I found interesting. Because it's like...
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, I know it was right. Like, it definitely, we couldn't have had that child, but I regret that it happened. So, take with that as you will. And I mean, by the end of the film, we assumed that the baby's still there. Like, she hasn't gotten rid of it yet. And we don't know if she was...
Not by the end of the film.
I'm saying, we don't know if she was going to. Like, we don't know what she decided to do. They never really tell us what
Maybe
she's
she
thinking.
hadn't decided.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
This is too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so while we're there, because, I mean, obviously we're going to have to talk about this ending, but we got to talk a little bit about John Doe. So what was your read on this?
So the first time we actually see him is, well, outside of the opening credits. I don't know if you caught this. We don't see his face, but the opening credits of the movie, you actually are able to see John Doe, like, writing in his journal.
And you see him shaving off his fingerprints
with
the razor.
Yeah, and you see him, like, with different photographs. He's attaching photos to his notebook. He's obviously setting up whatever he's going to do. And I must say, when we first see the journal and the writing, I said, this man got some really neat writing for a serial killer. I feel like people tend to think that serial killers have, like, crazy, sloppy, illegible handwriting. But I was like, this man's writing is very neat.
Nah, serial killer has to be very planful. They're not going to be all over the place. They're not going to be able to get away with it.
Yeah, but the writing could still be.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I wasn't surprised by him having neat penmanship.
But
especially this guy.
Well, the first time we actually see him in the film is when, like you said, they use some back channels. through the library to find out where this man lives based on books he had taken out of the library. They get there, and he starts shooting at Somerset and Mills, and he's nice. Like, the way he's jumping out through the window,
he's Spider-Man out here.
I was like, oh, like, this guy, I assumed he was trained. Like, he has some kind of background where he knows how to evade people, he knows how to shoot people. I was pretty impressed.
He's jumping through windows, jumping on rooftops, like on some real Peter Parker type stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's all over the place. And he's able to evade 2 detectives.
Bro, he could have killed Mills if he wanted to.
He had a gun to his head.
Yeah.
Like, you're out of here if I want you out of here, but you're not on the hit list. And I need you for later.
Oh, man.
I need you for later.
That's really the whole thing.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that, too. I have a lot to say about that. But, yeah, I thought this was a really interesting choice, though, because all throughout the film, we don't see John Doe's face. Mm-hmm. We don't see his face. We don't know that it's Kevin Spacey until basically the last 25 minutes when he turns himself in.
Covered in blood.
Which, again, is all a part of his plan. And he's very impactful in this movie, despite only being in like the last half hour. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was a good choice, a good direction choice. I don't know if that was the director or if that was just in the script. Maybe it was just written that way. But you kind of put yourself in the place of these detectives because it's like, I don't know who this guy is. And the fact that he has basically like created a fake identity for himself. Like, he has like bank accounts under the name Jonathan Doe. Like, this guy is very like, he's 10 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. So they literally don't know who he is. And even by the end of the movie, we still don't know what his real identity is.
Exactly.
So I thought that was like a really nice touch from a viewer's perspective to be like, yo, we don't know who he is either. Mm-hmm. We don't even know what he looks like. He's just this guy.
I did enjoy that. Think about how, like, to cut your fingerprints off so they can't ID you, like, that's diabolical.
This guy's crazy, man.
Like, who thinks to do that?
Yo, he had someone tied up for a year.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he was going back and checking on the guy, and he
was paying his rent.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because the landlord said, yeah, his rent was current. So
and he's putting up the air fresheners. So it's like, this guy's like, yo, I've been putting this together for a while.
And that's why I feel like the ending with Mills had to have been something that he just happened to do. Because I'm like, there's no way you could have planned a year ago to get Mills involved in this.
So this is actually the next thing I wanted to ask you about, because everything feels like he was 10 steps ahead. But he's not introduced to Mills. First of all, Mills doesn't even work for this district until the beginning of this movie.
Right.
At which point, like, the first kill had already happened. So then he gets assigned the case. They almost put him off the case. They put him back on the case. Like, there's a lot that happened. We know that John Doe finds Mills, I think, in the courthouse where he takes his photo. It was a crime scene where he takes his photo and he yells at him because he thinks he's a journalist.
Yes. So
this is where we know, like, he IDs him. He probably goes and does some research. Who's this guy? Oh, he has a wife. Da-da-da. But I guess, like, are we supposed to believe that? How far ahead are we supposed to believe that he planned this? Because obviously, if I'm killing people off the 7 deadly sins, I have to do all 7.
Right.
So it's like, how does Mills come into this whole plan if he already started killing people before he knew who Mills was?
That's what I didn't understand. It, like, although the ending is shocking and all that, I was kind of like, but how? But when did this happen? Like, when was this part of the plan? There's a lot about the end that we'll talk about that I was like, how did this happen? Because, like you said, you have Sloth that was planned at least a year ago. But apart from Sloth, all of the other ones could have taken place over, like, we know Gluttony was 12 hours, but other than that, a few hours for each one. So, he could have been like, all right, I got Sloth covered for a year. And then after that, I'm going to find other... And Lust was easy. Just find a sex worker. So, okay. And...
Gluttony, find a fat man.
Apparently. And then greed find a crooked defense attorney.
Right. That's not going to be hard to do in New York City.
Envy. Yeah, the envy. It just bothers me because I was like, bro, so you met this guy, you looked him up, you saw he had a wife, you saw he's like a cop who's kind of a hothead. I mean, he's not a nice guy. Like, he says things that like all people who commit crimes are all mentally ill, which is not true. And he just seems to have this complex of like, yeah, I can solve all the cases, and yeah, I got this covered. And Somerset's like, bro, like, do you know where you are? Not to mention, he said like a lot of victims go, he said, unrevenged. Like, cases happen, you try to solve it, you can't solve it, and like that's just how things go. Mm-hmm. But he's very much like, nah, I can close the case, I can do it, I can get him. Even when John Doe turns himself in and they're in the back of the cop car. So basically he gets arrested, he's in jail, and he tells his attorney, like, I'll tell them where the other two bodies are buried if I go out there with just Somerset and Mills and show them where the body is. They agree to do it. And they're escorting him to the location. He's in the back of the cop car. And while he's back there, Mills makes a comment like, yeah, like, as you can see, we finally got you. And it's like, bro, you didn't get him. Like, he turned himself in. So I couldn't understand. I'm like, why do you think that you got him? Like, he clearly has a plan, and y'all are like, you're falling right into it.
Yeah.
It was so weird to me.
He very obviously has a plan. Like, he literally said, hey, you. He showed up at the police department and was like, yo, I'm right here, dogs. It's like, if I didn't show up, would you ever have found me?
Never.
Like, I would have killed 5-10 more people before you even got a clue.
Yeah, I just didn't understand. So I guess he just figured like Mills is a hot mess of a cop anyway, and he's going to play into my hands. Like, he knew he could control him based on his anger. And so,
it's a little neat, though.
Yes, it absolutely is. I agree. I absolutely agree. Because it's like...
And also, the fact that... I mean, we might as well talk about the end now.
Yeah.
So, Tracy dies. So, Tracy, I feel, is the one person who's like a casualty in all this, because she's not attached to any of the 7 deadly sins. She just basically gets killed as bait.
Yeah.
For Wrath. But she's not Wrath.
And that's the thing that bothers me about this.
But he doesn't do that for any of the other kills.
No. And it's like, we all know that John Doe is a hypocrite, right? Because he thinks, like, morality is a big thing that comes in here, right? The sins and morality and all that. And in his mind, he thinks he's doing good work. Because he's like,
the Lord's work.
Yeah,
He said the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Oh God.
Nah, he had so many quotes at the end of the movie that I was like, nah, I gotta write this one down. I gotta write that one down too. He was beasting.
Yeah, it was too much. I think he said something like, we see a deadly sin on every street corner in every home and we tolerate it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and then he said, well, not anymore.
Oh, okay. There you have it. But it's like...
She's like, after I get this off, and this hits the cover of the New York Daily News.
But what's going to happen? People are going to stop.
People are going to stop tolerating deadly sins. They're going to be like, hey, you! Don't you remember what John Doe tried to tell us? Yo, this is the crazy thing with people who have like these manifestos. It's like, bro, what do you think society is going to do after you finally get your grand plan off? Like, it's going to make people think, for sure. Mm-hmm. But like... people are still going to be gluttons. People are still going to be greedy. People are still going to be prideful. People are still going to have lust. Like, you're not going to, like, rid the world of these 7 deadly sins. In fact, I would also posit that you're not even going to get people to think twice about being lustful or prideful.
No.
Because it's like, oh, if I'm a glutton or if I'm prideful, this guy might kill me. But it's like, but that guy's dead. So I'm not worried about him anymore.
Or in jail or whatever.
And I think that was the back and forth. Like, he and Mills were like two different extremes. Mm-hmm. Like, he was like this very self-righteous, yo, the world needs to learn this lesson that I'm about to teach them. And Mills is just like dismissing him like, yo, you're crazy.
Right.
You are basically just like the story of the week and everybody's going to forget about you.
I'm setting the example. And what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed. Forever. Yeah. Delusions of grandeur. You're no messiah. You're a movie of the week. You're a fucking t-shirt at best.
And they're both kind of right and they're both kind of wrong. And I feel like that's where Somerset is kind of like the actual person who's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like in the middle of the two of them and he's kind of like, yo, like you realize, John Doe, that you're contradicting yourself. And also you realize, Mills, that he's not crazy because he planned this whole thing and he killed your wife. So it's
He
like
killed your wife.
So it's like, bro, like y'all are both like kind of being a little bit too dismissive of the other's perspective.
That's the problem. And also, like, stating the obvious here, but, like, how are you going to sit here and talk about people who have, you know, lust, but you're murdering people?
Right. It's like,
how-
yo,
like
these
how?
people, he's getting people off, these rapists, these killers. He's like, so what is it? What are you? Because you just killed like 5 people.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but it's not about that. And then he's like, just changes the subject instead of answering the question. It's like, bro.
I mean, if you cloak it in being in a master plan and, like, doing what God tells you to do, then, you know, then you're all good. Right?
I mean, apparently.
Well, the whole, like, what's in the box situation. Man, the first time I watched this movie, and Somerset, basically they're out there in the middle of, like, the desert, and they're trying to figure out, like, where these bodies allegedly are buried. When they get out there, they're seeing, like, there's some kind of van, delivery van coming, and he's coming up fast. And you're like, who's in the van? What are they bringing here?
Yeah, they're about to get set up. They about to all
I
die.
thought it was going to be explosive the first time I watched it, like, blow them all up. Like, I know what was happening.
Yeah.
And because he's like, anytime
You're thinking
now,
the van is dangerous.
Yes,
It's
for
not.
sure.
It's
for,
not
for
dangerous.
sure. You think it's dangerous. So it's coming up, and Somerset's like, you stay here. So now you have John Doe on his knees. Mills has a gun to him, and Somerset is running to see what this van is. And we find out it's a delivery driver, and he's like, yo, somebody pay me money to bring this box by 7 o'clock. It's 7:01. He's like, I don't even know. Like, and he gets out of there. Matter of fact, on foot, I believe he gets out of there because Somerset's like, yeah, leave the van and go. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm out. I see guns. And when Somerset opens the box, we don't ever see what's in the box, but we find out that it's
He does the math quick
yeah.
too.
It's
He's
like he sees it and he's like, oh, this is a setup.
yeah.
Because he's gonna find out his wife's head's in this box, and then he's gonna shoot him.
He's like, no, drop the gun,
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
tries
nah.
to stop it.
Because he's like, yo, I already see what's happening. here.
Yeah, he read it. First time I watched it, I didn't really know where it was going. Like,
No way.
I'm like, okay, he killed his wife, and like he's gonna be pissed about it, but like, where's the other body? Like, I'm just like, okay, that's one body. Where's the second body? Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Nah, but then Somerset spells it out, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh. So then it's like, there's no way you don't know what's happening, because Somerset says it, and then
Yeah.
it's like, yo, he wants you to kill him.
He wants you to, right.
Like, don't let him win. Don't let him win.
And you know what? I like the fact that he won because I think that was a more realistic ending. Knowing what we know about Mills and how he's a hothead and how he thinks he's better than everybody and like the wife is the one person he loves and he finds out that she's pregnant right there on the spot because doesn't like
John
I think
Doe says
John
it.
Doe says something and Somerset's like, it's like, oh, you didn't know? Like being
He's like,
ridiculous.
oh, she didn't tell you.
Right.
Oh, he didn't know.
Right. So at that point, it's like, not only did you kill my wife, but you also killed our unborn child? Like, you're dead. And he shoots him. And I'm like, I mean, it's dark, but it's also like, I get it.
Nah, they set it up. They set it up the whole movie. Like, they're setting it up as like, this is a guy who's just gonna fly off the handle. This is a guy who gets angry. This is a guy who wants to fix everything himself. So this is not a guy that's gonna be like, let's let the courts decide.
Oh, no.
So this is the whole thing. And not only does he take away his wife and kid, but like his career is over now.
More than your career, bro. Like, I want to ask you this. Did you think, when all was said and done, and you saw him in the back of the cop car, do you think he ends up in jail or a mental institution after what happens? Or something else?
I didn't even think about that.
So I'm like, oh, his brain is broken. Like at this point, I'm like, I think he's like, You saw him sitting in the car just staring at nothing. I'm like,
he's
gone.
definitely gonna need some. He's definitely gonna need some rehab, some counseling. Do they put him in jail? Well, here's the thing, right? He wasn't at any personal threat.
Exactly.
He has a guy handcuffed on his knees.
Mm-hmm.
He's admitted to every crime he's done. And he's willing to do the time. So, like, did you have any police reason to shoot this man in the head?
No. You didn't. You did it.
I don't know. He definitely didn't, yes. That's not the part I don't know. What I don't know is, like, if the cops would actually let him take the fall for him. Or if they just, like, make up some story so that... Because, like, yo... He delivered this man's wife's head in a box.
Right.
It's like, are we really going to let him go to prison? And you know cops defend other cops. Like, for better or for worse, we know that they don't really usually let their guys fall. So that's the only thing. But it's like, he's dead to rights for sure. Is he actually going to do jail time? I'm not sure. But either way, he's not going to be a cop anymore.
Yeah, he's toast.
And they also set up in the movie, again, like they're just dropping gems the whole movie to like, they're giving you little seeds so that at the end it all comes to bloom. And he also tells the story about the only other time he discharged his weapon. Mm-hmm. And he basically is like, he had a drug bust, and he pulled his gun and somebody rushed him and he shot a junkie and killed him. So, you know, he still thinks about that because it messed with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, I had to do it because my life was at danger. So it's like, if he's still thinking about this drug dealer and now he does this, like, it's
going to weigh on him.
It's gonna.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, you avenged your wife, but he also got exactly what he wanted. Like, he wanted you to kill him, and you did it.
And you
anyway.
gave it to him.
You gave it to him. So yeah, it's definitely gonna ruin him.
Well, Somerset is gonna retire as usual.
So
or does he go back to the force?
No, yeah. So this is the whole thing. So at the end, because the whole plan, again, Se7en, they were only supposed to work together for 7 days. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my last week. And Mills is literally taking over Somerset's office. So they're sharing space until he retires. Mm-hmm. But after this all goes down and he sees, like, yo, number one, I love doing police work. And number two, the force really needs me because I'm nice. And these other guys, like Mills, like, they can't handle this work.
Exactly.
And I think his boss is like, all right, so where are you going to be after this? And he says, I'll be around.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so you're not leaving.
Yeah.
And the last quote of the movie, he's like narrating, which, you know, you have Morgan Freeman in the movie.
You got to use him.
You got to let him narrate. And he says, some quote where it says, there's a quote where that says, the world is a fine place and it's worth fighting for. And I agree with the second part.
Yeah.
So it's like, the world is not a fine place. Mm-hmm. But it is worth fighting for. Yeah. So that to me is a clue that he plans on continuing.
Man. You know what stood out to me about this film as far as just the way it was shot? Like, we kept saying that it's a dark movie. This was actually a dark movie.
Oh, yeah.
If you notice, every scene was either completely in nighttime or it was in a room that had little to no light, like some kind of little lamp somewhere, or if it was daytime, it was overcast and raining.
Yep.
There was not one day I could think of, except for the very last scene. The very last scene when Tracy's head's in the box, it's sunny. And it's daytime. That was the only time. The rest of the film was dark and or rainy.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is giving me like Gotham vibes.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely living in Gotham. So, a few things with 90s references.
Okay.
You notice in their police station they had this old ass computer with a black and green screen?
Yeah.
That definitely took me back to like being a kid and playing on my dad's computer.
We had an IBM.
Yes. IBM. Yeah. The black and green screen was like the OG, like before I feel like they do mention internet, but I feel like internet like just came out.
Yeah. And not everybody had.
And
You didn't have it in your office.
Yeah, it definitely had a different computer for that. Like you wasn't using the black and green screen for that. There was something else that I'm not remembering now. I had some other.
I have some. While you're looking for that, I have some little tidbits about the importance of the number 7 in the film. So you already mentioned, obviously, 7 deadly sins, and then, of course, it was 7 days before Somerset was set to retire. For the gluttony scene, where, like, you saw, like, cockroaches all over the place because there's food everywhere.
Right.
They used 7 crates of cockroaches. The variation of the F word was used over 70 times.
Which one?
Just variations of the F word, so, like...
No, I mean, which F word? Because there's a few of the other one in there, too.
The curse word.
Which is very 90s
yes,
as well.
That didn't age well. Pitt earned $7 million for this film. Mills receives a telephone call about the first murder about 7 minutes into the film. All buildings in the opening scene, the numbers all begin with the number 7. And then almost 7 minutes from the end of the film is when Mills shoots John Doe. Wow. And obviously, I did not find these by myself. These are facts that I found. I wasn't pausing the movie and looking at the time, but
you weren't?
I wasn't doing that.
Come on, man.
But that's what I found is a lot of 7s going on here. So they clearly made it a point to drive it home.
Yeah. So the other 90s reference that I noted when they initially, are trying to find out who this John Doe is, and they find some fingerprints in his residence. And they go to get it scanned, and the guy's like, "Oh, this is gonna take us 3 days to match the fingerprints." I'm like,
"Yeah,
3 days."
Yeah. In the computer system, yeah. They're scanning.
I'm like, man, this is dreadful work. But I guess it's better than 40 years prior when they didn't have fingerprints at all.
It was nothing. It was kind of like, oh, did we see a guy run by here? And it was all eyewitnesses.
So crazy.
That was it.
I think about that all the time with the Prohibition era or Al Capone. It's like people were just getting gunned down in the middle of broad daylight. And
just running down the
yo, did you see anything? No. All right, case closed. They didn't have anything to catch bad guys.
You had nothing to go by.
It's crazy.
That's why serial killers were rampant, even in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
They were just out here doing things because it's if you don't know, you don't know. That's it. All right, themes?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
So I feel like the theme is kind of what John Doe's trying to get off. Mm-hmm. Basically, the world is full of sinners, and some just happen to be villainized more than others. But he's kind of painting this picture that you guys, the cops, but also you guys as in all of society, you pick and choose who you decide are the bad guys. But actually, all these people walking around all day, they don't have any sort of moral compass. They're all doing terrible things, and basically, there's no comeuppance for any of them. Mm-hmm. So if I have to take the mantle to remind people not to have these deadly sins, and I think it's even driven home by the fact that the main detective on the case, basically his undoing is his own anger.
Yep.
And so it's not to suggest that all these people deserve to die because they didn't, except for maybe the child molester. But yeah, I think that was the big theme is everybody's kind of trash. And then how do we decide who deserves it and who doesn't?
Yeah, I did like that idea of how society decides what's allowed and what isn't. Because, honestly, society's been doing that for a very long time. If you look at how laws were written back in the day and how things are currently changing now, back in the day, if you were marrying somebody of a different race, that was against the law. Mm-hmm. If you were trying to engage in same-sex relationship, it's against the law. So it's things that people say, oh, this is immoral, but it's but is that a sin? Like, morality and sin are two different things, and I think sometimes people get that confused. And what I really liked about this is the fact that you have a police officer who is supposedly the good guy, who is there to crack down on this crazy murderous person. And it's like, well, bro, where are your morals? Because while you're not out here murdering people, you are breaking the law.
He is at the end.
Well, yes. But like, you're breaking the law, you're, breaking into people's homes, you're bribing people to give false statements. It's like, you're not a moral person, but you think you're better than everyone. And so I think it did a good job of highlighting the fact that, even though you may think you're better than someone else, chances are, bro, you're also immoral. And also, like, if you were in that position, would you have shot him if that was your wife?
Woo! I think it would take a lot more guts to not kill him.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think killing him is the easy decision. And, again, like, that's the whole point, right? Like, you would have to it would take a lot more, I don't know if morals is the right word.
Like restraint?
But it would take a lot more to be like, no, I'm not going to give him what he wants. I'm not even going to give myself what I want.
Man.
And yeah, I don't know. I hope to never be in a situation like that.
God. All right, a couple of facts. So in the scene where Doe is chasing Mills, we see that he ends up with a cast afterwards, Mills does, on his arm.
Yeah.
Apparently when they were filming it, Pitt slipped and he drove his arm through a windshield. Yeah.
A windshield?
Yeah.
How hard did he slip? How do your arm
Bro,
really just crack a windshield?
I'm just telling you what I found.
That's insane.
So the resulting injury...
It was a prop car and it had like really flimsy glass.
Probably. But he ended up like severing a tendon.
Oh my goodness.
They said it was so deep it went down to the bone. So he had to wear a cast for the rest of filming. And so they just wrote it into the script that like, basically when I think John Doe hit him over in the arm or something, he was bandaged up. But it's like he was literally injured and had to shoot the rest of the film. I mean, actors, man, they go through some stuff sometimes.
Gotta get your 7Ms, man.
The man that they used for the role of, what was it? Sloth. He was an actor with a very slight frame. He weighed 98 pounds.
Yeah, he did. I saw it.
I was like, holy cow. He was itty bitty. So the actor who played...
He's a grown man?
Yeah.
Wow.
The actor who played the Greed, the defense attorney, his name is Gene Borkin. So he answered a casting call and he like looked like a smarmy like lawyer type. And when he when he arrived on set after he got the role, he realized he's going to be spending the entire time naked, covered in blood, and acting like a corpse. He said, right there, I renegotiated my contract. And he ended up getting 5 times what the Screen Actors Guild would normally pay for that. So it's like, it's funny to me that it's like you're paying you're playing the attorney and like you're renegotiating your pay.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So I said, shout out to him because, why not? So last thing I want to mention is that we never actually see like what's in the box. But apparently the director, Fincher, was saying that like he was at a cocktail party and he was talking to a woman who basically was like, I mean, it's just a shame that you would just like show Paltrow's head like that, like in a box. And he's like, we definitely didn't show her head. And she's like, you did. I saw it.
Who said this?
A lady at a cocktail party tried to tell the director that it was not okay for him to show Paltrow's head in a box.
She didn't actually see the movie and she heard about it.
So it's like, she's like, no, I saw it. It's like, bro. And apparently it's a thing where like people have said like, I saw something. And it's like, there's no cut, directors or otherwise, where her head is shown in a box. So just putting that out there. People are weird.
That's insane.
Yes. All right. Time for the rewind rating. From 1 to 5. This is my movie, so do I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So 7. Like I said, I've seen it before. I forgot quite a bit of it. I was very shocked with Lust. Good God Almighty. But I think the messaging is there, It's basically trying to tell you to, like, kind of look within yourself because we all have things that we probably need to work on. And it's very likely that any one of us could have fallen for wrath and ended up killing him. So,
That's right.
That's life. Would I watch this movie again? Absolutely. Although it's dark, I enjoy it. There's that part of me that just, I don't know. I like dark things, and it's entertaining. So I'm gonna give this a pretty high score. I'm giving it a 4 or 5.
All right. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. Like, I'm not usually as into dark films as you are. Surprise, surprise. But I think this movie is so interesting because, number one, like, the concept and the themes, like you said, is very, like, Saw-esque. Or I guess Saw is
It's like this.
7-esque.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really like the way that Mills and Somerset play off each other, like that whole little dynamic, which, again, is like, it's pretty obvious that they're setting them up to be polar opposites, but I think Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman just do a good job of it not feeling cheesy. And I think, you know, if you can have a 2-hour movie that doesn't feel like it's 2 hours, that means that you're like kind of engaging the audience. The twist at the end is one of the best twists in like movie history, as far as I'm concerned. So that alone just like makes it a great film for me. Because even when you know it's coming, like having seen this movie before, I'm still just like on the edge of my seat, like, yo, this is crazy. And the way that Brad Pitt plays that last scene is just fantastic. So yeah, would I watch this movie again? For sure. Like, this is not like a movie that I would watch every year. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, you know, I'm not gonna fire it up like every Christmas. But yeah, I definitely would run this back. So I'm also gonna give it a 4.5.
Ooh. Before we move on, I almost forgot. There was one more fact I wanted to put out there. So the whole what's in the box situation, apparently some of the studio heads thought it might be better if the dog's head was in the box instead of the wife.
Because he had 2 dogs.
Right. But Pitt insisted and was like, apparently he had an issue on the set of another movie where they didn't go the way he wanted to, and it was a whole thing. And so he was like, no, for this film, I want it to be done this way. I think for a reasonable person, you'd be more likely to kill him if that was the wife's head in the box versus the dog's head.
100%.
So they ended up keeping it that way.
And the fact that she's pregnant, like,
oh yeah,
if it's not the wife, it's not. She doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
So yo, good on Brad Pitt, because he literally said, I saw this interview where he mentioned that, like, I had it in my contract that they had to keep the ending because I didn't want them trying to switch it up at the end. And so it's like, bro, do you want me on this movie? It's in my contract. It's like, yo, let's just keep it. Let's keep it.
Yeah. Shout out.
It's all like, right, bro, like, what are you thinking, bro? Like, what were you watching and thinking, like, oh, we should change this?
Well, people
That's
don't
crazy.
like, I mean, a dog's head in a box is very jarring, to be clear. Like,
yeah, but the whole movie is jarring.
Yeah.
So just finish it properly. Like,
yeah.
You know, trust in Brad.
T.I.B.?
Yeah, straight up. Straight up.
Hashtag trust in Ben. All right, so we would like y'all to keep continuing to send your requests. You can hit us up on social media at RR90spod. And you could also send us an email to rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. We'd like to give a shout out to a special listener who sent us an email this week. This came in from Elizabeth M.
Shout out to Elizabeth.
Yeah, we figured we could like maybe start to read like an email during each episode or every couple episodes to kind of just give y'all a shout out, because we appreciate the emails and figured that the listeners would as well. So she said in her email, first, I just want to say thank you for doing this great podcast. My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Texas. I just happened to come across your podcast a year ago. I love it so much and how these movies take me back to my childhood. You two are insightful and smart, and even though I don't always agree with your ratings, and she put an upside down smiley face, I really appreciate your opinions and breakdown of the movies. Also, I have to mention I love Andrene's laugh. And then she continued to list the movies that she wanted us to add to our list. So the reason why I wanted to highlight this email is because she mentioned that she's from Texas, and I realized that we've never actually asked you all where you're listening from. And so I think it would be fun if you let us know where it is that you're listening from when you send us your request, so that when we start saying who the movie's requested by, we can kind of say so-and-so from state, so-and-so from state.
Yeah, for sure.
To give y'all a proper shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Elizabeth again. And it's always great to hear from folks. Obviously, we have the Patreon where we have our hardcore listeners that engage with us every week. But I know, a lot of people are just out there listening and just, kind of not so much engaging or not so much commenting or leaving emails. But whenever we hear from you, it's really good to know that people are enjoying what we're doing. Andrene's laugh continues to reel people in for whatever reason.
Don't be a hater.
I know I'm not that good at it either. There's a lot of podcasts that I listen to that I've never reached out to.
Yeah,
so it's
I was thinking that. Yeah.
It's like, I get it, but at the same time, holla at us though.
Holla at us though.
Yeah, holla at us. We need that. We need that.
All right. Joel mentioned Patreon. It's just $5 a month. If you guys want to hop over there, we will be discussing late 80s and early 2000 films. We have a blast on our chat.
We discuss all types of films.
Oh, we really do.
We just be a bit cutting up, but yeah. We have bonus episodes on the Patreon for 80s and 2000s. So,
correct.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any final words for these lovely listeners?
Anyone who spends a significant amount of time with me finds me disagreeable.
I agree. All right, y'all. See you next week. Later.
Adios.